You know that feeling, right? You're sitting on a runway, you look out the window at that massive wing, and you just think, how in the world is this giant metal tube going to get off the ground? Well, today, that's exactly what we're going to break down. Let's dive into this amazing 500-ton miracle.
Yeah, you could just ask your phone for a quick one-sentence answer, but the truth is, it's not just one thing. The real answer is this gorgeous, high-stakes balancing act between a few incredibly powerful and totally invisible forces. And that's what we're going to get into.
So, first things first, let's just take a moment to appreciate the sheer scale of the problem we're even talking about here.
I mean, this is the big question, isn't it? It just kind of defies our everyday logic. You drop your keys, they fall. So how does this giant super heavy machine just hang out up there, miles above the ground?
Let this number really sink in for a second. 500 tons. That's 1,000,000 pounds. We're talking about the weight of something like 80 full-grown elephants. And our goal is to lift all of that into the sky and keep it there for hours. It just sounds completely impossible.
But here's the thing. It's not impossible. And it's not magic. It's physics. It all boils down to this constant, elegant, four-way balancing act. Every single second a plane is in the air, it's in a massive tug-of-war with these four fundamental forces.
First up, you've got the hero of our story, lift. This is the upward force, the one generated by the wings, that directly fights against gravity.
And of course, fighting against lift is its eternal rival, weight. This is just the relentless downward pull of gravity on all those 500 tons. So for a plane to fly, lift has to beat weight. It's as simple as that.
Okay, now for the battle that goes forwards and backwards. It all starts with thrust. This is the raw forward-pushing power that comes from those massive engines. It's what gets this whole show on the road. And pushing back against thrust is drag. You can just think of this as air friction. It's the resistance from the air that the plane is trying to fly through, and it's always trying to slow things down. So there you have it, lift versus weight and thrust versus drag.
So let's see how this whole thing builds, starting with that horizontal battle, the push from the engines and the pull from the air. So here's the deal. For a plane to accelerate down that runway and actually take off, the force of thrust has to be way, way bigger than the force of drag. The engines have to win this fight, and they have to win it big.
And they win because they are just incredible feats of engineering. A jet engine sucks in a massive amount of air, squeezes it, injects fuel, lights it all on fire, and then blasts that super hot gas out the back at incredible speed. That powerful backward blast of air creates an equal and opposite forward reaction, and that is thrust.
Okay, so thrust gets us hurtling down the runway, but just going fast doesn't get you off the ground. For that, we need to unlock the secret of the wing. And this is where things get really clever.
What is it about moving forward really, really fast that suddenly creates this incredible upward force? A force that's capable of lifting 500 tons. It all comes down to a very specific shape called an airfoil. Take a look at it. See that subtle curve? Notice how the top surface of the wing is curved, but the bottom is pretty much flat. That is not an accident. It is the key to everything.
So as the wing is rushing through the air has to split to go over and under it. But because the top is curved, the air going over has a longer journey than the air going underneath. To get to the back of the wing at the same time, that top layer of air simply has to move faster.
And here's the punchline. A core principle of physics says that faster-moving air has lower pressure. So now you've got this situation with slower, high-pressure air under the wing and faster, low-pressure air above it. Nature hates an imbalance like that, so the high pressure below pushes upward toward the low pressure above. That upward push is lift. But that's not all. That curved top also deflects a huge amount of air downwards, and for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So as the wing shoves air down, the air shoves the wing up. It's this brilliant combination that truly creates lift.
But you know, the wing's amazing shape doesn't work in a vacuum. Achieving and maintaining flight is really a team sport. It involves several other key factors that pilots have to manage constantly.
Pilots are basically master jugglers. They're constantly managing a few things. First, speed. The faster you go, the more air flows over the wings and the more lift you generate. Then there's air density. That thinner air at high altitudes provides less of a cushion to push against, so it generates less lift. And finally, and this is crucial, they control the angle of attack. Just think of it like holding your hand out of a moving car window. If your hand is flat, it just cuts through the air. But if you tilt the front edge up just a little, you feel the air push your whole hand upward.
That tilt is the angle of attack, and it's a super powerful way to increase lift.
So let's connect all the dots one more time. The engines produce thrust to overcome drag. That thrust builds up speed. The speed forces air over the specially shaped wings. The wing shape creates that pressure difference, generating lift, and once lift is greater than weight, you are flying. It's a beautiful chain reaction.
So when you look at it this way, it starts to feel less like an impossible magic trick, and a lot more like an incredibly smart application of some fundamental rules.
And really, that's the big takeaway. Flight is a continuous, managed state of balance. It's a constant dance between lift, weight, thrust, and drag, all orchestrated by brilliant design and the skill of the pilots.
So the next time you're on a plane and you feel that immense acceleration pushing you back into your seat as you race down the runway, which force will you be thinking about? The raw, brute power of thrust, or that elegant, invisible creation of lift as the wings finally grab hold of the air and carry you into the sky?